Alright guys, Jason here, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to show you one of the most powerful strategy on saving that absolutely no one else talks about, and it blows my mind. I first saved 12 grand in my first year of saving, and if you do what I'm going to show you, you can literally double the amount you're saving in 2 years, every 2 years. And the best part is, this is an inspiring and motivating way of doing it without all the small kind of tight, stingy budgeting. I hate the word budgeting because most people are not sharing how to do it in an inspiring way, which is why there's such a high failure rate in the first place. So I've got a very special video for you today, and this can radically change the course of your financial destiny. So be sure to take notes. I mean it. All right, so many of you who have been on this channel a while know that I became financially free at 29 years old when I finally had enough liquidity invested passively in the markets and in speculative markets that essentially allowed me to not have to rely on any active income whatsoever. But before I got to that point, I grew up on a council estate with no hand-me-downs, no inspirational peers, no motivational videos, no lottery win, no unicorn businesses, and I certainly didn't have YouTube or social media or anything like that, so I had to start somewhere. And in my early days, I had debt, credit cards, overdrafts, loans, and everything. And there was a turning point when I found out that we were having my first son, and that's when I realized that we actually need a plan, and I needed to change my life around a little bit. So this is what I did first, and here's how it works. It's called FAST because it stands for Forced Accelerated Savings Technique. And before you do what I'm about to tell you to do, you have to accept at this point that the reason that you feel like you don't have enough money is because you are spending too much, okay? That's step one. Some of you are here because you want to know how to accelerate your savings, and you want to do that fast. And some of you are here because you're in a bit of financial ruin and you're in a little bit of a rut. But understand, whatever situation you're in, if you ever feel like you need more money, it's because you're spending too much relative to your earnings. Take ownership of that, and that is the first place to start. So now you're aware of that, the most powerful thing that you can do before we get into anything right now is to have a clear objective and a goal as to what you want to achieve, where you want to be in 5 years. Do you just want to have enough to go on holiday, a nice holiday? Do you want to have enough to not have to work? Or do you want to be a millionaire? Everyone has a different objective, but the most crucial element to that is having a reason why. Okay, that's really, really important. If you don't have a direction or motivation, it'll be very, very difficult to build a habit. Anyway, that's the first thing. The next thing I want you to imagine is your lifestyle costs account and your savings account are two separate accounts. In fact, it's wise to go right now and set up two separate bank accounts, your primary bank account and your dedicated savings account or financial freedom account. Now, imagine these two accounts are intertwined so that when you put money into the savings, it's like a seesaw, right? You reduce your allocations to your lifestyle costs. And that's how this is really gonna work. So with that in mind, here's where you start. Before setting up the actual savings, go and print out your last 12 months bank statements and go through every single payment and take note of all the hot spots, the costs that are more than you thought. It might be the gardeners, or it might be the Sky, or the coffee, or the trips to the garage, or the sweet shop, or the meals out, right? Write them all down and then add them all up and then divide them by 12. Doing that will give you the average across the year so you don't miss those one-offs, okay? So it's really important that you work with averages. And now you've got them all written down, the next step is to go through the expenses, starting with the hotspots, and prioritize making savings on those expenses. So you can either cancel them right now, right? Ask yourself, is this something that's moving us towards our bigger goal, or can we do without it for a bit? So cancel them, or prioritize renegotiating the expenses. If it's a supplier, on the date of renewal, when that comes up, put a date in the diary to renegotiate and find a cheaper supplier for the same service at a better price. The next thing is to cut down electricity, switching off your lights, right? Your standby, turn the water schedule down or 30 minutes less, or turn it down a few degrees. Keep your car tires inflated so you use less fuel. Walk or exercise instead of using the car to the shop, or do a deal with your neighbours on the local window cleaning service to get a better deal. If he washes all of your windows at the same time, you could do a discount. So make savings on the necessities, your shopping bill, etc. Next thing is sell everything you don't need. Sell the exercise bike that you never use. Get rid of it. Go on eBay and Gumtree. Get rid of everything that you've bought that isn't used or truly important to you. So go through your loft, go through your garage, your cellar, your attic, whatever it is, and have a total spring clean and convert that to cash. Right, so that's the first exercise, and we haven't even gotten to the fast strategy yet. Whatever the sum, whatever that tallies up to, whatever you've just made, right? Sometimes you can literally save 10, 30% of your income just by doing that and have a nice little lump of cash. But here's the key. The next thing is, as I said, imagine your two accounts are a seesaw. Instead of going to spend all that cash that you've just saved, take a portion of it or all of it and chuck it into your savings account so that you start your savings account with an inspiring starting balance and a bit of motivation. Now, if you don't have a lump sum, but you've made some savings, or maybe you haven't managed to save much from that exercise, here's what you have to do next. Commit to saving a minimum of 10% of your income every time you get paid. Set up an automation so that on the first of the month or whenever you get paid, 10% gets automatically transferred into your savings account before anything else gets paid. If you use digital banks like Starling or Monzo, these can easily be managed and automated from a few clicks on the app. Remember, the habit of saving is far more important than the amount that you save at this stage. Now, here's where this strategy is really different from what you've heard anywhere else and where it comes into its own. Every time you commit to save, you put a small pinch on your lifestyle, right? So that automatically forces you to either reduce your lifestyle costs or bring in more income. Now, has there ever been a time in your life where you've taken on a bit more than you can chew in terms of a new expense? Like you might have been a car or even a kid, when you was having a kid, right? When you thought, I'm not sure how we're going to pay for this, but you just make it work and it works out fine. This is because you adapt your lifestyle to what you're prioritizing. So this is how it works. Every 90 days or 3 months, you set up a reminder on your phone and you ramp your savings up by 10%. So you start at 10%, then after 3 months, you acclimatize to it. You felt the pinch at first, then you get used to it. Then after 3 months, you tweak it up again by 10%, so to 11%. And you leave it another 3 months, then after another 3 months, you felt the pinch, now you're acclimatized to it, and you go and ramp it up another 10%, which would be 12.1%, and so on and so on and so on. What this will do is each time will put demand on your lifestyle and force you to reevaluate your lifestyle costs to live within your means and or get creative on earning more money. The goal is to keep ramping it up until you're saving a minimum of 50% of your income, where you can either decide to continue or at worst, you're going to be in a very, very good position financially. It usually means at that point that you've controlled your lifestyle costs, but not necessarily scrimped, and you're not disempowered, because the likeliness is you've scaled your lifestyle too, believe it or not. You've earned more money creatively. When you see your savings account going up and up, your brain works differently and you become more calm and you become more creative and you become more caring, which plays out in your relationships, your work relationships with your employer, your employees, your kids, your colleagues, and you see more opportunities. You see them everywhere. And by saving this way, you actually double your savings every 2 years. So if you manage to save £1,000 per month in year one, by the 9th double, you're going to have over £1.2 million. And this is without putting the money to work in the markets, which I'll talk about in another video. The key is to get 3 to 6 months of your lifestyle costs in expenses in liquidity as soon as possible and watch your income grow. Now here's the final tip, which will accelerate your savings even further. But before I give you that tip, please give the like button a thumbs up. If you're going to start saving tomorrow, hit the like button and it will help me spread this information to many more people like you. And I believe that when we're in a state of freedom and creativity, we become better human beings. And your like will literally help us create a better world. So here's the last tip. As well as saving and your savings account and your lifestyle costs being a seesaw every month, also, you can allocate 5 to 10%, which is fixed, it doesn't ever go up, to your self-development. And here's the final bit of magic. As you develop your skills and you learn new things and you grow your knowledge and you expand your consciousness and you expand your awareness, you become more efficient, you become a better employee, a better business owner, you build better products, you learn how to generate more money, which then filters down into the whole system and accelerates it even faster. So that's how I did it. Now, I just want to say that most people try to save whatever's left after their spending. But the absolute key is to do your spending after you've done your savings. That's what it means to be truly paying yourself first, your true self, your inspired life, your freedom, your mission. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you liked it, you'll definitely like the other videos on this channel, especially the ones on financial freedom. So subscribe and like this one and let me know your thoughts in the comments because I read every single comment. Until next time, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you then.